Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. This is me making a prom dress, part 1, starting off with my mermaid skirt with godets. This is my stencil that I'm using. I'm starting off with the mermaid. I'm starting off with the mermaid skirt stencil. As you can see, I cut it at a 3x because me personally, it's easier to take in than to add fabric to make bigger. This is the fabric that I'm using. Really good fabric. Got it off Amazon. Right here, I'm just making sure that the measurements I took align with the cutout of the stencil. So I did cut it down to 2x because she's not that big. And then I just place things down to make it easier when I cut out. The fabric is interfacing for me personally to make a cleaner cut. And I just cut along the stencil. And I'm cutting it on the fold so I can do 2 pieces instead of 4. This is what the piece is going to look like out all together. One big front of the skirt. This is me laying it out on top of each other, the first piece and the second piece. I am going to layer it out interfacing, so when I sew it and turn it right side out, it's going to be a clean cut. I'm just trying to align it and make sure everything is aligned properly, so when I do pin it, it's going to be pinned correctly. So when I do sew it, it's going to be sewed correctly. So again, I'm just making sure that it all lines up correctly. I know I sound repetitive, but it's so tedious that you want to make sure you pin it right, because if you pin it right, then you're more than likely sew it right. So right now, I do have them pinned together. As you can see, I have it pinned all the way down, but keep in mind, I'm not gonna sew the bottom. Like once it hits that curve, that's when I'm gonna stop because I have to add the godets there. So I'm not gonna sew that part, just have it pinned. This is me just beginning to sew. Right now, I do have to prep my machine. My bobbin indeed ran out of thread, which is a little annoying. You always want to make sure that your bobbin is full so you don't have to keep stopping in the middle of sewing to re-thread your bobbin. So this is just me threading my bobbin so I can get started on sewing. I am just gonna ramble for real right now because I don't want y'all to be sitting there in silence like that's mad boring. So I'm just talking, chatting until I start saying something again. As y'all can see, my machine is a little broke. That's why I have to hold it, but it's not broken enough for me to buy a new one. When I tell you I hold it and it all works the same. Now, my bobbin was full, so I took it off. And now I'm just threading my machine so I can get that top stitch together. And once I put the bobbin in the bottom, my bottom gonna be together. And then I can begin on sewing. Maybe in the next video, I add some music during the silent parts so I don't have to talk the whole time, because I low-key be out of breath if I'm being honest with you. But I would say this is one of the most annoying things, to keep having to thread your machine. But I mean, it is all part of the process. You have to appreciate it, because when you thread your machine right, your stitching comes out nicer. When your stitching comes out nicer, your seam comes out more seamless. If your seam is more seamless, then the outfit just looks more professional. So right now, I am finally getting into it after I thread, and I'm going to sew my 2 pieces together. My fabric is a little stretchy, so I do have to kind of play with it to get the tension correct, but it's not that difficult to work with. And this is just me finishing it up, making sure that the stitching is right before I go ahead and cut those threads so I can release the pieces. This is me showing y'all what it looks like. Now, the fabric I'm really in love with. Just like, get into the fabric. Get into it. It's shiny, like it's sparkly, it's purple. Who don't love purple? Like, get into it for real. Now, this is where the godets come into place. Again, I'm interfacing my fabric and I'm cutting it on a fold. So I only have to cut out 2 stencils instead of 4, if that makes sense. Now, once they're all cut out, I'm showing y'all, it's going to be 2 triangles. When I open it, y'all gonna see. It's a triangle. I hate that I'm talking to y'all like 1 + 1 = 2. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I think I'm just like trying to explain to y'all. So right now, this is just me pinning them together. And this was just a little like, because it was just too much fabric. Like, it's just too much fabric, but it still all worked out the same. Interfacing it, again, a lot of this stuff, like most of the process is repetitive. So it's really not that hard because you're just repeating the same steps over again. But interfacing the fabric and pinning it together, so when I sew it and I turn it right side out, it's going to be a good, clean, seamless seam. You're not even going to be able to see it, to be honest. If you do it right, you won't be able to see it. This is me showing y'all the pins and how I pinned it. As you can see, it is 2 triangles. And when I do sew it together and take it out, it's going to be 1 big circle. I'm geeked at this point because I'm doing a do. Like, look at this. This is my first time and I'm doing a do. As you can see, this is me sewing them together. I'm so ready to just complete it because I really want to see, like, I'm so anxious how it's going to look because I know it's going to turn out so good. Like, it's going to turn out so good, and I'm so in love with the fabric because it's so sparkly, and I'm so excited. I am making it for my cousin. I know she's going to be excited too. It's so much fabric. I'm really getting into it. I thought I poked myself because something hurt, and I probably did poke myself. But I just got right back into it because I was almost done. You know I'm into it because my mouth is agape. Like, girl, close your mouth. But I'm almost done. And then soon, like, you're going to see me take it out, cut the thread, so I can show you the finished product. This is me, like I said, taking it out, cutting the thread. And then in like 5 seconds, I'm going to show y'all the finished product. Boom. Look how good that look, y'all. Would y'all believe in me if I told y'all this is my first time? Because this is my first time. And shout out to my friend because she's the one who sent me the stencils. Usually, I don't even use stencils. It made it so easy. Like, it made it 10 times easier. Like, look how seamless the godets look on it. Like, the skirt just looks so clean. Like, the fabric just looks so clean and pretty and sparkly. Like, and then when I put the horsehair on it, which goes at the bottom of the dress to make it more firm, it's going to look even better. Y'all like, subscribe, and press that notification bell so y'all can stay tuned and be notified when I post part 2. If y'all like, comment down below. I appreciate y'all for watching my video and staying tuned. Until next time, love is love.